What if? What if I begin this origin story of woven arcana where it really started? A pre-made embroidery kit during a compulsive and slightly desperate impulse buying session at 2 a.m. when my last therapy left me rock bottom again. Speaking of rock bottom, I hope you never have to live one. Not the Instagram version with perfect lighting and a strategically placed but I'm healing caption. No, the kind of rock bottom with a perfect bow tie of self help crap wrapped in a color coded spreadsheet during a Montreal winter. So cold, it felt like the universe itself has gone numb. Picture this, me surrounded by an empty hazelnut jar, giant model, and 1 dozen spoons like some bizarre art installation. Oh god, the spoons line up in perfectly size because apparently when life is falling apart, proper organization of spoons become critically foxglove important. Montreal winter are not just cold, they are existentially devastating. The snow doesn't just fall, it buries you in silence, the kind of silence that makes you hear every single judgy thought bouncing around your skull. And there I was, an academic robot with a meltdown protocol involving scheduling bathroom breaks with military precision, pondering if I really need to oversleep until 5:30 a.m. or if I can eventually become a grown up and wake up at 4. My color coded life was blooming in all wrong direction. Red tabs for work and deadlines, blue for schedule, emotional breakdown. Wanna know when? Tuesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Allowed to feel blue, how efficient I was. Yellow for workout and for batch cooking while listening inspirational gurus. Well, honestly, I don't even remember anymore. I'd created this elaborate system to contain myself like those Victorian botanical gardens when they forced exotic plants to grow in perfect rows. And speaking of botany, you know what belladonna, lily of the valley, and hemlock have in common beside being deadly? They are survivors. They thrive when they shouldn't. And there I was trying to be this perfectly pruned garden rose when really I was an elbow all along, complex, misunderstood, refusing to apologize for existing. The unraveling was dramatic, a spectacular bloom of chaos. It was everything but quiet. 1 minute I was planning tomorrow's anxiety attack. Yes, it was a thing. And next I was collapsing in a snowbank at 7 p.m. No coat, no scarf, no gloves. Barely realizing how loud fellow students were laughing at me when I was considering giving up entirely. And that snowbank, that frozen moment of complete void, it was my first act of rebellion. My fingers were numb, my breath created ghost clouds in the air, and something inside me cracked open. Fast forward 2024, 97 session of therapy sessions later, countless trials of creative outlets, knitting, crocheting, cooking, walking, pottery, clay, yoga, meditation, you name it, I tried it. I got the tote bag to prove it. I was left with 3 words only to communicate, and none of them was really helpful to order a venti tiramisu latte. So, with zero expectation, I grabbed a needle, started stabbing fabric on a pre-made embroidery kit, and surprisingly, the left-handed me felt at ease, able to create shape and stems and flowers and leaves. Woven ARCANA is not born in some perfect creative epiphany with angelic music and divine inspiration. It crawled out of the frozen ground of my complete disintegration. It was survival blooming in the most hostile climate, both literally outside my window and metaphorically inside my mind. The most beautiful botanical truth I've learned so far: seeds don't break down to fail, they break down to become. And surrounded by Montreal frost and the shattered pieces of my carefully constructed academic life, I was finally breaking down enough to become something real. Who knew that the most magnificent flowering would become in the frozen ground? Next week, I'll be showing you how the story keeps unfolding, but until then, you should watch this video.